Everybody's here now, so...
Yeah.
I don't think this can hear you yet.
Okay, now.
Okay.
Alright,
That was the
good.
first thing I heard.
We'll meet. Okay, so...
Ah.
Eh.
Okay, now I can't hear him.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
The word roll of 5 seconds.
Now I can't hear him.
But what a glorious 5 seconds they were. Oh, Jesus, you're right.
Is Bob
There we go.
talking?
I have just refreshed the page. Hopefully you can hear me
okay.
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Yay.
so... Where we last left off, the four of you, along with a few companions, have journeyed across the ocean and come to a strange and mysterious continent where the people have dark skin and through the inaccessibility of magic seem to have relied more on science and done a pretty good job of it by the look of things. We've seen wonders of technology and shared wonders of magic with them, mostly in the pursuit of destroying undead visitors and pacifying 2 train cars worth of werewolves.
We only killed 2!
Yes, under the circumstances, it's fairly clear self-defense, so it shouldn't be that bad. Anyway,
Plus, we didn't kill them all. Once we realized that most of them were once we realized they were innocents, we were like, okay, non-lethal time.
well, you managed to convince their apparent leader to explain the whole strategy, which was to apparently for the vampire to infect a whole bunch of wild tribesmen with lycanthropy, show them how to keep themselves sane, and then spread out into the populace and start infecting other people.
And using suggestion to make that happen is the most gold thing I can ever think of.
Yes, and go figure, but the suggestion was still active when the police arrived and wanted to know what was going on, and so the terrorist happily obliged.
And then the press, too.
Yes,
Look, I never broke concentration, and that was the important thing.
Mm-hmm. And so, you were packed away into a police station. You explain that the people have been cursed, but are curable, but you can only do so many per day. And so you've resolved to stay inside the city for as long as that takes, which should be about 6 days. Assuming nothing happens to Grunash's 3rd level spell slots.
Oh no, they're sapping away his spell slot.
Oh no!
And, but you were waiting in a chamber until almost dawn when a man shows up, and apparently wealthy. He has apparently taken upon himself to hold you in his custody. And for as much as you understand about that, actually Aurelia would be fairly familiar with this sort of idea of one person being responsible for another's conduct in a foreign land.
Mm-hmm.
And on your way out, you met a man who was possessed by a vampire who congratulated you on a job well done, and then left.
I took his hat.
And
It wasn't a good hat, but I took it.
just the normal guy's hat.
I know.
What-
Saddened me.
But you still took it.
Guy was a little too out of sorts to realize that his hat was missing. So I suppose you do still have it as you climb aboard the carriage on your way to the wealthy man's estate. And Let me just pull up my notes. I've got a name written down here.
Lily, did you really just steal a normal man's normal ass hat?
Look, I had to be sure, okay?
No, you didn't. You could have
did
given
though.
it back.
No, it's too late. I already took it.
The wealthy man's name was Mobundu Pala, with Mobundu being his tribe name.
Clearly, I should cast Nistel's magic aura on it for shits and giggles. It's a very effective use of a second level spell slot.
Well, you know, if you cast it 10 times in a row, it'll become permanent.
Oh. I have better things to do than to enchant this random hat in this place that doesn't give a shit about magic.
Mm-hmm. But you do start trundling off in this carriage. And, oh yes, that reminds me. Your music today.
Ooh.
Ooh, music for the day.
Oh.
Oh.
Blessing from on high. Ah, give me that goth shit.
Yeah, give me that goth shit.
Inject it directly into my veins.
So, I hate to get right to the point so quickly, but it needs to be said. I have paid your bail, and it was a very high bail, $200 per person. And I have done this because...
How much is a dollar again?
A gold.
basically
I
a
think.
gold.
Okay.
And I have done this because I need your help. Well, that and everybody would be clamoring to have parties at my house now that you are my guests. Everybody will want to see these strange foreigners.
Okay, buddy, I'm not here to be some sort of attraction, alright?
Yeah, I'm not a lamp that you can show off.
You
are
look
not a
mostly
lamp,
like people.
but you are so bright.
I mean, they're pretty dull, honestly, once you get to know them.
Don't be mean to Lake and Grenache.
I was mostly being mean to Lake. It's okay.
But the other reason, yes. There has been a problem in my coal depot in town. In this area, I own all of the coal mines, and they all come here to meet the train, and then the train takes them wherever you need coal. In fact, this town burns the most coal of almost any city on the continent. It is a marvel of modern engineering.
Is that why there's so much smog?
Never really thought of that. Could be. But the coal depot has a problem. Over the last few weeks, there have been many fatal accidents there. Many more than usual. The coal depot is not the safest place to work normally, but it is not so unsafe for 6 people to die in 3 weeks. But that is what has happened. I have personally suspected a saboteur, especially maybe one from the wild tribes. But there were too many witnesses, too many people who could have seen whatever it was, whatever happened if a person caused it. But I do not think it is just accidents, especially not with all of the extra ghost sightings in town. They also only started in the last few weeks.
Last few weeks was when, out of character. Last few weeks was when the Banshee also showed up at the other town we were in, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay. So all this strange shit that's been happening on this continent has only been for a couple weeks.
Well, you also heard from the werewolf that's been prepping for most of a year,
Oh yeah.
but he was only ordered to go out within the last month.
Okay. So, what's his name? He was with us when the vampire Paula. He was with us when the vampire gave us the message, right?
Yes, I was meaning to ask, who was that strange person who apparently can talk with another man's voice?
A drama queen.
Drama queen that we've recently met. I think we might have to kill him.
Might?
I mean, probably. He keeps getting in our way.
I mean, let's be real. If he was an Okar, it'd just be another day in the life.
Yeah.
There's not many people that I have desired to kill.
Well, technically, he's
That
not a
person
people
has put
anymore.
himself at the top.
Yeah, he stopped being people long ago.
All the same,
So,
that person has put itself at the top.
Okard, is that the place where you are from?
At least two of us, yeah.
Yeah, at least me and like.
I come from lands further south of Okar, but we still owe them allegiance.
I come from somewhere very clearly independent from Okar. Don't you forget it.
Yes, you said that you were the ruler there.
Yes. It's an independent city-state. Do you have I guess you don't really have those here. You have your own little sort of confederation, I guess.
Well, I think I sort of understand the idea. Because when the tribes came together to form the first alliance, they each built their own cities. And so the city being a state, I can understand what that could be.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so it's nearby to Okar, but it's separate. Very clearly separate.
Also nicer.
Yeah.
Not that that's hard.
Yeah.
Much nicer.
This rivalry, I understand that too. But as I said before, I will not ask you to do this out of the generosity of your hearts or because I have paid your bail for you. In addition to doing this and for being my guest, and for that iron whatever you asked for, steel plates. Yes, those. I will also offer you a bounty of $500 for each strange apparition that you find and destroy.
Okay.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, work.
I mean, it's about time you guys start pulling your weight.
Very good then. Well, I will treat you all to a very nice breakfast, and after that, I think you will probably need to get to sleep, and then go find these apparitions after the sun sets.
And by the way, when Aurelia says that, Lake knows that she's just joking, but he does they do look annoyed, a little bit annoyed at that, mostly because of the whole druid thing. They still don't have a hang of it.
No. I don't mean pulling your weight in a fight. I mean pulling your weight in terms of, earning money
Financially.
instead of just getting Aurelia to pay for shit.
I mean, I have plenty of money, but you
don't have over here money is the thing.
True.
Grenache just plays.
Look, money's money.
All right. Well, a few minutes slip past, and you slide past a series of buildings, each looking about the same as each other, until at last you come across a much larger mansion, fenced off from the rest of the homes nearby. It's got an iron fence with fairly pointy-looking spikes at the top of them. It's actually got itself a yard, which you've begun to notice is fairly rare in this city. Like, there isn't that much green around here.
To be fair, there's not much space.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is that they've paved over everything. You're used to dirt roads or cobblestones that just sort of, where the cobbles end somewhere before the buildings begin. But yeah, this manages to just sort of get rid of all of that nasty, annoying trees and grass and stuff.
Cool.
Except
cool.
in-
I'm super useful here, is what you're saying.
Except in gated yards, such as this one.
Look, you're a druid, just carry around a tree or something.
There does not seem to be much life around here.
And one other thing you've noticed is that the sun is most definitely out. The sky has lightened enough to prove that. And it's doing a fairly good job of burning away the fog. I mean, there is still this sort of misty presence on the streets, and the sky is not completely clear above you, but it's much easier to see down the street now. The light obfuscation is gone.
I asked Paula if that amount of fog is normal, because the last time we ran into a place that was this foggy, there were ghosts there.
Oh yes, it is the smoke, as you say,
Oh, okay.
perhaps, and also because we are in a valley here.
Okay.
Many mountains on it every side.
Alright, just making sure that, like, you know, something else wasn't weird wasn't happening, but... You know.
I mean, it's fine. It was only a bit of screaming.
Yeah, I don't know what the big deal is.
Should I crack your heads together now or later?
Catch me first, fucker.
Besides,
Don't tempt me.
you can't knock our heads against each other. She's way too short for that.
Yeah, I am like an unfortunate height. Please do not.
I mean, it's always picking you up.
I mean, that's good if you want to get
how tall
stabbed.
is Lily?
I forget, honestly. Let me
It'll be
look
on
at the
her
Is it
numbers.
not written on your character sheet?
It is. I just didn't have
It's
it.
the most important entry in your character sheet.
It's under appearance, 3 feet 11 inches, just
Well,
under
that's pretty short.
4 feet tall.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure,
Look.
like, pushing 6.
Your Nash is
How-
6'5".
It's like, wow, tall.
I can't believe I'm as tall as Grenache.
How tall is Lake?
Lake is 5'10", so just under 6.
Okay, yeah, Aurelia is 5'8".
So yeah, about average for a male human.
I can't believe Lake is a manlet.
I can't
What?
believe Grenache is a giant.
It's a really, really stupid term for someone who is short.
5'10" isn't short.
It requires a certain type of energy. To be fair,
Yes.
Danny
specifically if you-
Danny DeVito is not a manlet, despite being very short.
No, it's specifically used to
Ben
refer to people who are
Shapiro,
like
on the other
overly
hand.
sensitive about height. Just to mess with them.
Ben Shapiro is my favorite.
100%. Fucking 100% a manlet.
All right. So, the architecture is fairly similar to the city buildings that you passed, although it is more ornate. There is more money spent on decorations, clearly. And as you enter the building, you also notice that there is more money spent on furnishings and on the staff, because there are a good 4 or 5 people who are just apparently noticed that the carriage came up and are there just to bow to the master of the house and accept a few orders that he gives them before running off to do their jobs. You can see a few more off in the background running back and forth.
I forget, did we learn about whether these people have, like, nobility?
They called their leaders chiefs, and they said their chiefs elect a president, but
Right. So it's that's being a chief. I mean, a hereditary chief. Is it hereditary? Did they say whether it was hereditary?
you didn't ask.
I'm gonna, when I have the opportunity to chat with this guy, I'm gonna ask him these questions.
All right. Well, it's not quite yet, because he's basically given his staff a rush order for getting a breakfast out and onto the dining room table, which he gladly gives you a brief tour of the front chamber of this mansion. And to be perfectly honest, although he doesn't have quite the collection of rare decorations that you do, you do have to admit a lot of his stuff is better than yours, Aurelia.
Like in terms of just craftsmanship, I'm expecting.
In terms of
Like,
craftsmanship, in
And
terms of
materials.
floor space.
Well,
Oh no! Don't turn this
I
into a pissing
mean,
contest. I don't need this.
okay, hold on. I mean, it's clear these guys have access to, construction
means.
techniques that are beyond our own. So that's fine. Really, it's
and-
not.
And you have also been, the guest of people who have more money than you do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
More money than God.
But do they have taste? What's the art like? What kind of art do they have?
I'm going to have you roll performance just to see if you can catch on to the sort of vibe it's going for.
Sure.
And with that, yeah, it is entirely foreign, of course, but you can see the analogy of it. That you imagine that someone whose profession is to decorate has been through this place and made sure that it met the standards of taste that person held.
Ah, the feng
Right.
shui man.
Yes, this interior has been designed.
Damn.
That's
Wow.
nice. But I mean, the art, like, does he have art on the walls, like, or
How
around,
tasteful is the art?
painting, sculpture, that sort of thing?
How many naked people does he have in art form?
How tasteful are the naked people?
Yeah, that's the important question. Just naked people alone is an insufficient metric of artistic
Just
value.
slapping porn up on my walls. Check it,
Nathan.
fuckers.
You need to know how tasteful it is.
The ultimate lavish lifestyle.
Well, in terms of decorations, he has a few tapestries on the walls, but they don't tell stories the way you're familiar with.
Mm.
And there are plenty of art objects covering tables and given a tasteful amount of space between each one. But a lot of them involve carved masks covered in intricate colors, made out of very strange colored woods. Like,
Huh.
it's not just a regular brown wooden mask. It's like this utterly black wooden mask next to this extremely red mask. The colors are so vibrant, you aren't sure if it's natural or painted.
Surely it must be painted.
It's naturally painted.
Painted
It's
naturally.
painted naturally. Fuck you.
But yes, as you set yourselves up around a dining table, what was the question you were going to ask?
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask him more about the how politics works here. How, you know, she's gonna try not to assume too much because these guys, you know, she's gonna say what she knows, I suppose. But
Well,
yeah,
the chiefs have always been elected by members of the tribe, but it used to be just a council of elders that did the electing, but lately it has been expanded to more and more people. And after that, the chieftains create an assembly. They send someone to represent the tribe in the Great Alliance.
I see a sort of electoral college, if you will.
Uh,
Oh no, wait, this is the assembly. I thought you were gonna say this is how they elect the president.
oh, the president is very new.
Oh, I see.
It is, we have only had a president since the Third Alliance began. And that is also every person who can elect a chief must also elect the president.
I see. So,
And the president cannot be the president for more than 5 years. Otherwise, it is too dangerous. The president couldn't gain too much power.
Just Lily looks at Aurelia with a really sly grin.
you're worried about the ruler having too much power?
Well, yes. The tribes were very independent before any of the alliances began. They don't want to give too much of that up, even now with the Third Alliance.
I see. But what about? Are there any? There's no hereditary aspect to this at all.
Not since the Second Alliance began.
That sounds great, actually.
Just
But
waiting
how-
until they get their own Kennedys.
But hold on. But then how do you ensure that, you know, the people who rule have been groomed for it all their lives?
Well, how would you ensure that the best person with the best education got the job if the ruler's son decided he hated the idea?
If the ruler's son hated the idea of
If the
being the
ruler's son,
ruler?
yes, if the ruler's son fucked off and fucked women instead of learning how to do his job.
Well, I mean, that does happen sometimes, and
Then very,
Well-
very bad things happen because of it, so...
well, no, I mean, look, it depends. Okay, like for example, sometimes you have someone who usurps the throne, and then that person gets murdered by one of their brothers, who then usurps the throne for himself and is possibly aligned with some kind of malignant extra-dimensional entity that wants to destroy the world. But then you just do the normal thing and you have a coup to seize power.
How's Fiona
Look, this
still
isn't
around
works,
again,
okay?
by the way?
Yeah, wow. Way to really sell me on it.
Look,
So what you're saying is only a matter of time before somebody comes and tries to kill you for the throne. Got it.
Well, no, because I'm a good ruler. That's how it works. It's like
Uh-huh.
it's a sort of mandate of heaven, if you will.
You do realize that
Canonically,
people
Aurelia is
love your
coining
brother.
that phrase, right? Sorry.
Also, it's great that you realize that you're talking to a literal divine.
The people did not all love my brother. I think you'll recall that.
Okay,
the
people in
halflings
charge
particular-
liked your brother.
But that's not how it works. Okay, it has to be everybody, and except for people who don't like me, they don't count.
And
So
just like
you
the
are
people who didn't like your brother, they didn't count.
Pardon me, but you are saying then that you must have the support of your people in order to rule?
Yes, of course, but they don't elect you. No. It's not. Okay, this is.
I don't know. It sounds like my system is simpler.
Just Lily goes in for a high five for like.
He has no idea what you're doing.
If you say so. Look,
I
I'm
like
sure
your system too,
is
Palu.
Also fine.
Same.
I'm sure your system is also fine.
It sounds better, actually. We should probably import this. We should probably get the people
look,
behind this.
I'd like to see a little more of your system before I conclude that it's better. I mean, how do you know that your whole country would
Aurelia.
just be taken over by demagogues who,
Aurelia,
yeah.
do you want to stop talking, or should I find a shovel for you?
So violent.
No! To dig
Please
herself a
don't.
deeper hole!
Look, I think I've made my point. If it's too difficult for all of you to understand, that's fine. Not my problem.
No, I get your
Still-
point. It's just I'd not like to say the point out loud.
Ding, ding, ding. Ah, saved by the bell. Breakfast.
Look, I find it amusing talking about the mandate of heaven, and she just points to Lake.
So, breakfast turns out to be another fairly high protein meal. You've got strips of some sort of meat that has been well salted, eggs that are somehow just eggs. Even here, eggs are eggs.
The
Yes,
universal
that's a normal for a
constant.
change. At least I don't have to sneeze all over this thing.
Disgusting.
Yes, and actually, as opposed, the other thing on the plate is a pile of baked beans. The smell and look is unusual, but you've encountered beans and lentils before. And unlike the meal that you had on the train, this one seems to be fairly well seasoned before it reaches the table.
Thank goodness for that.
Lake, after eating a couple of the strips of the meat, asks what kind of animal this came off of.
Well, I believe it is called a. Oh shit! I did not prepare in this much detail.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! I'm asking things
I
the
like
GM didn't plan for. The weakness of GMs everywhere.
I love how that old shit was done and didn't even break character for that.
Oh shit! It's a cow? Question mark.
Let's call it an ingruwe.
Okay, well, whatever that is, it's delicious.
Sure.
I'm just imagining it's bacon.
So?
It's just bacon.
Grunash didn't question it, he's just eating it.
And so, after you've had a hearty meal, along with more of the local tea, you are shown up to individual rooms that are each fairly large and, again, well decorated. And you now have the opportunity to take a long rest and restore all of your hit points and spell
Oh
slots.
boy.
Finally, time to sleep.
Nice.
Lake will take
Wait,
whatever the
before
smallest
we-
room is. They don't
Before
care.
we do that, I'm just gonna ask him if he has a place where I can park my griffin.
Your what?
Oh, all right. So, do you know what a lion is?
No.
Do you know what an eagle is?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what a? Do you have cats here?
Do you mean the panther?
Sure. Do I know what a panther is?
No.
And bullshit.
All right. Well, look, it's you know what? I can just show you if you give me 10 minutes and a place where something the size of it's a little bigger than a horse.
Oh, well, we do have a stable. It is where we keep the horses that drew us here.
Okay. Sure. That sounds good. If you got some spare room in the stable, I just want to I sort of you know how we can do magic and stuff, like the different magic from what you guys have. She says, not wanting to offend him, by telling him that his magic is fake. Yeah, so I can sort of summon this creature, and then it just hangs out for a while. But I just need a place where it can sort of stay, if that's
Sounds fascinating. I
Cool
would
with
love
you.
to watch if you are okay,
Okay.
with that.
yeah, absolutely. So she summons him. It takes like 10 minutes, so it might be not that interesting to watch.
Oh no, he's perfectly fascinated by all of this. You do have to do stuff throughout the 10 minutes, after all.
That's true. It's
Also, this is incredibly new.
yeah, it's verbal and somatic. I don't actually know what it looks like. I guess she just sort of waves her hands and chants or something.
It involves just. You can just sort of imagine it as drawing a giant chalk circle on the ground. It's a ritual because you have to be very precise about what you draw within the boundaries of the circle. On the
Fair enough.
lines have to be precise and all that. And so it does take 10 minutes to do all that and chant the whole thing as you're doing it. And you do sort of draw a crowd, not just Pala, but also his stable hands and a few of the other house staff.
All right.
By the time you finish the spell and the so it's a Fey spirit, right?
Yes. It's a Fey Griffin.
So with a burst of a wind whips up grass clippings and leaves and gathers them all together into this whirlwind that when it subsides, the animal is already there, standing perfectly still in its center.
I pet it.
And Paula claps, and the rest of the staff follow his lead.
All right. So I'll just let the Griffin know that it can hang out here, and obviously, don't bother anyone. But it's, not. It's fine. It's not like it eats. I don't think it eats anything, right? It's just magic. So
Yeah, but that is actually good. Paula is about to ask that question. What does it eat?
yeah, does not eat anything. It's magic. It just comes. It comes from another realm, a place that we can't see directly. So it doesn't need to eat or drink anything. It just hangs out.
Amazing.
But
Yeah, look,
it's yeah.
I have not seen an illusionist who could put on a show like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Magic is cool. I don't know. I don't know what Aurelia says to. But yeah, she tells the Griffin just hang out in the stable, and obviously don't bother anyone, and let her know if anyone messes with it. And then she goes to bed, I guess.
All right, and as I said, restore your hit points, restore your spell slots, restore your whatever else you have. And for that matter, I will put you back on the train so you can do this with your pogs as well.
Sure.
Mind breath.
Yes, trapped in the abyss. Oh, hey.
You're all still mostly full from the looks of it.
Yeah. I took 10 hit points of damage and used 5 key points, but that's fine.
Why do I have 80 HP now?
Level up, I guess.
Wait, what level are we?
11.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, it is 80. Oh, I know. I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at my mount's hit points.
Yeah, I imagine those would be lower. But, yeah, so the night passes without significant incident. Or I should say the day, that is when you are resting.
And then when the rest is done, my immediate thought is to go help those people.
Alright. Let me just move the players here. That's right. Okay, so the Apollo will oblige and call his carriage. Apparently he says he's back from work by the time you guys wake up. There's still a significant amount of light left, so he's able to so you have some time to get there to spend your 3rd level spells and your item ability.
Yep.
And then get back. And meanwhile, Paula will be talking to the others, explaining that he has good news. I have found out that there is already someone working to get rid of these phantoms from our fair city.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Okay.
Yes. I am certain that she knows all you will need to know about what is going on and where all of the ghosts and phantoms are. So, her name is Bamalam Yoina.
Can you please paste
And she-
that? My notes.
Bamalab Yoina.
Oh, Black Betty.
And apparently she has been working on this problem ever since it was brought to her attention just 1 week ago. She had to come from another city further to the east. She has fought spirits for her entire career, she says. I hope, and I am sure that she is excited to work with you. Now come on in, Yoina. And in comes a woman in a, well, it appears to be a very different kind of outfit. It resembles the one that you saw on the shaman back in It resembles the outfits that you saw on the shaman back in Silverton, but this one is finer, better appointed, more intricate, but while still having the same sort of traditional cut as the other shaman. She also has a small headdress covered in dyed feathers. So, you are the foreigners.
How could you tell?
I could smell you from outside.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
I did
if you think I'm
bathe,
wearing too
so-
much perfume, just like let me know.
I will have you know that I have only accepted to do this job with you because Mubundu pays very well. And he seems to have faith that your foreign magic can actually do what you can claim it does. But I
do
will
you
have
want a
you know
demonstration?
that I have heard of the accounts of the ships that travel to foreign ports, and I am not impressed. I believe that all of your foreign magic is nothing but smoke and mirrors.
Okay. Can you wait here for a second? I need to go get something.
And I, for one, have memorized the rituals, and she's doing this even as you've left. I, for one, have memorized 61 faces of God, and I have needed all of them, all of the rituals of these 61 faces to face again, to destroy the spirits that haunted other cities.
All right, but have you seen this
city
face?
shall
And
be
then
no different.
have you seen this face? And I just activate my hook out mode. I have glowing purple wings. My eyes glow purple, and I start like lifting off of the air into the air.
I will admit your effects are very intricate.
Yeah, I mean that's not the kind of thing that will convince her. And well,
Yeah,
probably
I mean-
nothing will convince her. But
No,
I have a
probably
fucking
not. But
giant griffin I can ride. I mean, explain that.
it's a
So
simply
you
a
have
panther that
Flame
you
white
glued
rings.
wings onto.
So you have brought one of the strange foreign animals that you ride with you. Congratulations.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, yeah, but it's a fake. Okay, never mind. Like these literally ask anyone here. They all saw me summon at night.
I am sure that is what you wanted them to see.
Okay. Well, you know what? I mean, there would be a relatively easy way to demonstrate the magic that even she would probably have a hard time not believing, but I don't really want to mind control her or turn her into a frog, so I'm just gonna roll with it for now. Like, okay, well, you know what? That's fine.
I am sure that this partnership is going to go famously, but perhaps for now, you should go into the sitting room in the West Wing, and you all should go into the sitting room in the East Wing. And
Sure.
you shall wait for your friend and for nightfall, and I shall get ready for night myself.
All right, Lake starts flying towards the whatever room he told us to go to.
All right, and there is a servant to send you in the right direction.
Is the servant kind of freaking out that I've grown wings and am flying?
Yes,
Okay.
and that also seems to have made Paula at least nervous. It would only Yoina is really the only full-on skeptic here.
Coward.
They only
Right.
last for a minute anyway, and then I had to take a long rest to have them come back. It's fine.
Well, in the meantime, Grenache, you head back to the police station. You are escorted into the holding chamber where all of the survivors from all of the infected survivors, let me be precise, are held in a single holding chamber. You have previously explained what you were about to do to them, and so mark down the used up third level slots, and that
Yep.
you've used your items ability.
Yep, already done.
And after stepping up to the first three people you see and using the spells on them, and there are additional glowing effects that go along with spells, and so it is clear that you are
I-
casting spells and you are casting it on these specific people.
One more. I just remembered. I'm still attuned to my pool of power.
Oh, hey, you can use that. You can use another remove curse.
So I can heal 4 people this turn around.
All right, and there are precisely 36 people affected. So right now,
Wait, 36?
no, that number sounded wrong the minute I said it.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 12.
Yeah.
There's 9 that were.
There's 3
Nine
times
already
6,
infected.
18.
It was like.
So you can do this in 5 days then.
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah, it was like 12 people who were for sure infected, and like 3 that were maybe infected.
I think it was 9 and 6. 9 definite, and 6 that were maybe. But either way.
I can't hear the fan. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, there were definitely 13 werewolves to start with. 2 of them died, and 6 people were infected.
Okay.
So that's 11 plus 6.
17.
All right, yeah, you can do this in about 5 days.
Okay.
And actually, you can hold on to that pearl of power, or not expend a slot for 1 or 2 of those days if you think you're going to need it.
No, I want to focus on helping these people as quick as I can, so.
We also have a second Pearl of Power, don't we?
Yeah, but you can only attune to 1 at a time, I think.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if you like?
Otherwise,
fuse
it's
them
just
together?
kind of way too easy.
Also, I would have to attune to something else, and that would either be my spear or the holy symbol.
While
Really don't want to get rid of those.
while Grenache is doing that, I think Aurelia is going to ask a little more about the because we've seen some impressive metalworking and stuff here, haven't we?
Yeah. Definitely.
Bob, cut it again.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Sorry. I couldn't hear if you answered me.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. She wants to ask a little bit about that because she's kind of thinking about it. She wants to try to buy some cool stuff while she's here that might impress people back home. And also about the art, like the masks and everything with the wood. Are those does it have religious significance, or are they just art?
Oh, the masks? Those are war masks. It used to be that every tribe made their own. Every warrior made their own. But we stopped doing that when we got a lot of guns on the battlefield, because guns are much scarier than masks.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, interesting. Well, later I might ask for like a recommendation if you know any like good like goldsmiths or things like that.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
Cool. Get myself some nice fancy jewelry, or like a new. Well, I was kind of thinking of I get like a some kind of crown that I can eventually transfer the enchantment from this headband onto, since you said that was something I could not easily do, but I still want very much to do because I don't want Aurelia to be wearing a dumb headband.
Well, it is an intricate headband. Give it some credit, it
Yeah.
is a magic item.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know it's not like some lane. Anyway, it's fine. One of these days. One of these days.
But in any event, yeah, they'll give you the name of a goldsmith in town. Someone who works with gold, silver, and other valuable metals.
Perfect. Okay.
And let's see. Oh, yeah, back to Grenache. So you've cured 4 people now in the holding cell. What are you going to tell the police to do about them?
Just observe them for the night. If anything changes with them, let me know if whenever possible. The other 5 need to remain there, but keep them separate.
Yes, I did want to remind you that the full moon is still going on.
Yeah, I'm still well aware of that. So, yeah, the 5 that I haven't seen to, keep them held. The 4 that I have seen to, keep them separate, but just observe them for the night. If nothing happens, they're free to go.
We'll be the ones to decide that. But yes, after what happened in this cage last night, it's probably a good idea to get these out if they are not going to turn.
I'm of the strong belief that they won't, but I will have you trust with your eyes rather than my word.
Very good. You are free to go about your business.
I shall return to the manor then.
All right. You get back, and there's still a little time left and the sun is just about to set. And the fog, which never completely disappeared, is starting to grow a little bit thicker now that the air has cooled off again. You've experienced this before, back when you were trudging through the desert. But the difference between daytime heat and nighttime cold is pretty stark around here.
Hmm.
And so eventually the group of you are, the 5 of you, along with your new unwilling partner, Yoina, Mabundu's carriage, which takes you off to the coal depot that he mentioned as being, if not the source, then at least the start of the problems.
Hmm.
It was the best I could find.
It's fine. It's fine. Let's just say.
I love it.
Let's just say I will not be surprised if Thomas the Tank Engine music starts playing soon.
Please no.
All right, but
Like, I have personal reasons I don't want that to happen.
So, just for the record, we're not going to be measuring things in exact 5 feet increments here.
I
Fair.
can see why.
Well, yeah, because 5 feet would cover the whole thing.
Yeah. We'd be shooting our dad in the kitchen at that point.
Yeah. And let me just grab a figure to use for Yoina. Good enough. Shrink it down to scale.
I was hoping for the Fat Controller, but that's close enough.
Yes.
The what?
The Fat Thomas the Tank Engine again.
Oh, God. Got it.
Please no.
So, the coach driver has made sure to get the hell out away from this coal depot before the sun finally sets. So you do have a few minutes to take a look around and see that. And again, this was the best I could do. So just consider that this is a lot more massive than what you see here.
That's fine.
It's not just a single coal hopper tucked in against the side of a cliff. It is a dozen coal hoppers lined up, one in front of the other. A whole bunch of tracks laid out to collect the coal that dumps out of them. Other tracks that lead towards the base of the hoppers, where incoming trains can deliver the coal, or otherwise make sure that the coal cars can find new locomotives that will take them onto the tracks that lead to the rest of the railroad system.
So are there people around this time, or have they all gone?
Nobody is around. As you come up, Yoina explains. The coal depot has been abandoned at the moment that darkness comes, ever since the accidents began. The locals knew that there were bad spirits at work, and they refused to work here after dark.
I mean, sounds full.
That is why Mobundo is so desperate to get this to work again. He is losing a lot of money for as long as this depot is idle.
That makes sense. All right, so where do we begin? At that, I start looking around for anything.
You can begin wherever you want. I will begin by finding this spirit. And Yoina wanders off into the coal depot on her own, shaking some sort of staff that gives this sort of weird clicking noise as it shakes. More of like a chushunk, 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 chushunk. And she is slowly and deliberately singing an odd song in an old language that you don't understand.
Did anybody?
Well, I'm not gonna see
Does
anything for
anybody
that.
have detect evil and good? Because I'm pretty sure we could find some undead spirits immediately with that shit.
I have
Wait.
did have protection from, but I don't think I have the other one. Not on hand, anyway.
Yeah,
Well-
I have protection from evil and good.
Yeah.
You do also have that, the holy symbol.
Oh yeah.
That is true.
I've been looking it up, and True Sight can detect creatures on the ethereal plane, invisible creatures, and the true shape or the true form of shapeshifters and other creatures who have been changed by magic.
Hmm.
Also, it works out to 120 feet.
Yep.
Hey, I guess.
Okay, well, I'm not going to see anything with a 9, so I'm going to use one of the charges on my holy symbol. And then take another look around.
All right, let me just double check the spell length here. I'm pretty sure it's like 1 hour, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, it is an hour if you're going off base stuff.
I mean, I got it listed as 10 minutes, but...
No, true seeing is 1 hour.
Yeah, and I believe the item Gem of True Seeing just sort of activates the spell 3 times per day.
Okay, so that needs to be updated then.
Oh, no. No, you were right. It is 10 minutes out of the Gem of Seeing.
Oh, okay.
But again, it is 3 charges.
Yeah.
And it is to the same distance, 120 feet. Okay, with that in mind, roll perception again, now that you can see what is beyond seeing. Oh my.
You know when I said I wasn't going to be on board today? I didn't think that meant the dice rolls too.
Well, the coal field, the coal depot, from what you can see where you are, appears to be still and silent as death itself. Quite dark, too. It's actually a bit of an issue. There's no one here, so there's no one to light any lamps.
We all have dark vision, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, but that still limits your vision. So, how are you guys exploring the depot here?
I'm just hanging out.
I mean, I guess I'll follow Grenache since he's the one with true seeing.
What's our new friend doing?
Just wandered off in there by herself.
Okay, I'm gonna follow her.
Yeah, probably
Alright.
best someone does it.
Sorry, what?
Aurelia's following our new person who's come into the fold, and I just figured someone's better do it.
Well, Harvey is going to go with Aurelia just in case.
Okay. And Aurelia's gonna start asking her, so what would I have to do to convince you that our magic is real?
If you can dispel a spirit that is trying to harm a person, then perhaps I will think that you have real magic.
Alright. I mean,
What's Lily doing?
I can kill
I
spirits.
guess stuff since Torpo's away.
Probably following us too. 3 and 3 seems like a fair divide.
Yeah, if you're going to split the party, at least split it evenly. All right. Anybody else want to roll perception? And
Yeah.
everybody else will roll with a disadvantage because of dim light conditions.
Okay.
Sorry, everybody roll perception?
If you want, if you're looking. But roll with
Yeah.
disadvantage because none of the rest of you have true sight.
Right.
Mm.
Rip.
All right. Everything is quiet aside from you arguing with.
Not arguing, just gently questioning.
Well, aside from her arguing with you, then.
That's fair.
Okay, hi, I'm back.
You can roll
Hey,
perception
back.
at disadvantage to see if we can find any ghosts.
This is gonna go well.
I mean, you can't go any worse than I did. Congratulations, you did the best out of all of us.
No, no.
Well, no,
This
that's
is
not.
better.
There's a roll.
I know. Oh, yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yes, rolled the best out of all of us.
And somehow I got a 5 and a 2.
I got a 1.
See, my problem is I got a 17 and then I got a 6.
Yeah.
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 Disadvantage
light
is a
conditions.
bitch.
Well, hold on. The light shouldn't matter.
It does. Dim light specifically says any wisdom perception checks made using vision have disadvantage.
Even if you have dark vision?
Oh,
You have dark vision, which allows you to make any perception checks.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, you would be completely blind and running into things.
Can I just turn my sword on?
Yes.
Will that get rid of the dim light? Or will that improve the lighting situation?
Yes.
Okay, I do that then. Should I roll again, or?
Well, the thing is, it only occurs to you after you hear a rumble from one of the conveyors above your head. So roll dexterity saving throw.
That's not the best.
All right. A load of coal tumbles off the side and down onto you, as well as Yoina and Harvey. So let me just quickly roll for them. I actually got the hell out of the way. So don't forget to mark your pog there with 15 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will do that. Where's my fog? There it is.
Yep. Luckily, Harvey was able to duck backwards, and Yoina was able to jump forwards and avoid the worst of it.
Well, the worst of it isn't just the the damage. It's the fact that now it really is all dirty. It's coal dust.
Yeah.
Yeah. Technically, 7 of that damage is psychic damage.
That's all bludgeoning. Just for the record.
That's fair.
Is that something you'd be
Ow.
able to hear?
And also, you might want to think again about lighting the fire sword now. Because you're covered in coal dust.
That's not the best.
And you rolled well enough earlier to know the basics about how coal works.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, well, I'm not going to do that then.
And meanwhile, Grenash's party, you were able to hear that that tumble quite clearly in the still evening.
Oh wait, I can use prestidigitation to clean myself very slowly.
I will
yeah.
actually head over and to see if everybody's all right.
Yeah, I double back as well.
I heard a thing will happen.
Some coal fell on me, Aurelia says as she casts prestidigitation over and over again on different parts of her body.
Where'd it come from?
It was the spirits. They are angry with us. They want us to go away.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah,
Or
where did
maybe
it come
there's
from?
some Scooby-Doo bullshit going on here.
I mean, look, if there's anything I've learned about spirits, it's that you can fuck them up.
Yeah. Anyway, I will.
Actually, I just want to say, if it does turn out that this is like some Scooby-Doo shit, then I will be very impressed.
Yes.
Old man Jenkins.
I will actually touch you.
Can't believe it was old man Mabutu the whole time.
I'll touch you for 11 and heal 11 of that 15 damage.
Thanks.
While you do that, I look around again to see if I can find any traces of what might have caused that to happen.
All right, roll perception again.
Okay.
This time roll a real number.
Okay.
I hope I can.
Okay, here's a question. I just.
Okay.
Oh, okay. You settle your thing first.
There is something up there. It's obscured because it is above the sides of the conveyor above your head. But there is something that is definitely up there. It is moving away at high speed, and it is most certainly not natural.
All right. Now my question was she paying attention when I healed Aurelia, because wounds just literally healed themselves on Aurelia as soon as I touched her.
No, too busy dusting the coal dust off her own robes.
Damn it.
Yes. Frankly, the fact that Aurelia is using magic to visibly clean her clothes should actually be more impressive. Because, I'm sorry, but, faith healing is a thing people believe in the real world, so...
Oh, fair enough.
One other thing to remember is that she's got a small light, and she's human. So she's not...
Oh, right. So she can't see fuck all right now.
Very well, yeah.
So on that note,
you know what? You know what source of light we have that doesn't use combustion of any sort? I'm gonna activate Prodador's light and bump up the range of the light. A thing I haven't done at all.
Fair enough.
But back to Grenache. And by the way, before you say too much about what you saw, I will allow you to roll religion with advantage.
Okay.
Because for this and any other religion rolls to identify undead, Temper is going to be adding her thoughts to yours.
Okay then.
Tell me what you know about the dead people.
All right. An invisible undead able to move heavy weights can only be a poltergeist.
And those are dangerous?
They can be. This one has apparently killed several workers by taking advantage of the dangerous workplace to cause accidents. It, aside from just throwing coal around, it probably gets to the levers and starts moving things the wrong way when nobody's looking.
So dealing with this as quickly as possible is the best way to go about this.
So what you're saying is this poltergeist is a massive OSHA violation.
Okay, so how close is it when I can see it?
Well, The hopper is actually goes pretty high above your head. It's a good 20 to 30 feet above you. And it is, as I said, that is when you spotted it. So let me just sort of mark that here, if I can.
Yeah, they changed how Roll20's drawing tool works, and I don't like it.
What do you mean?
All right. Can you see a purple X?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. That is where you spotted it, but it has already quickly run down towards the hopper.
Okay,
And-
so how far away is the hopper?
Out of vision. Oh, that's a good 30 to 40 feet as well.
Okay, so all in all, about 70 feet?
Maybe around there.
Okay.
It's like I would put it within the range of a 90 or a 120 foot spell.
Okay, well, I do try and get a bit closer, within a range of 50, 60 feet. And then I'll attempt to use Sacred Flame upon it.
All right. Well, you're going to need. I believe you need to actually know where the thing is specifically.
That's
And
why I say attempt, so it's probably a perception to see it first.
so, as I said, you caught a glimpse of it before it ducked down and fled. And hang on, I gotta open the door here.
No worries. So the question is if I can track it.
Well, if you can point out where it, like, ran off to, I have Fairy Fire. I can cast Fairy Fire, and we can keep it real easy, good track of it then.
Well, if I can't light it up, then someone will have to.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a 20 like foot sphere, and they would have to a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What is it?
we were talking about maybe if Grunash points out where it went to, I could potentially cast Fairy Fire.
Yeah.
And
Like I say, I think the plan is if I can see it, then I'll target it. If I can't see it, but I know the general area that it's in, I'll signal over to the others then.
All right. And so you basically blind fire. In that
Well,
case,
I'll try to see it first. I'll try to locate it first.
yeah, like if he can see it, then I will for sure throw a Fairy Fire at it. But if he can't, then I might hold off on that.
well, the perception check earlier was just to see, was able to give you that glimpse because it's not just invisible, it's hiding and it's running.
Yeah.
So I believe for reactions, I don't believe targeting it will be feasible, but for the blind fire, fairy fire, we can make opposed dexterity checks
Oh boy.
to see whether it gets away before you can cast it or not.
Okay.
I need the BRB, guys. Sorry.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. Well, I'm just gonna roll straight D20 then. Proficient. No, I'm not proficient. I'm willing to burn a lucky on that.
Well, beat a 13.
Nah.
Or don't.
Or don't.
Yeah,
Arcane use
you,
of luck.
yeah, a bit of fairy fire, just bluish purplish light flares up around the edges of the hopper before just disappearing, not appearing to collect on anything.
Oh shit. At least it's not real fire, so I didn't just set the whole coal thing ablaze.
Yeah. But, speaking of which, Yoina just slaps you on the shoulder and says, "Be careful with that fire.
It's not real
Do you
fire.
want to set us? Do you want to set us all ablaze?
It's not real fire. It's literally not real fire. It's just it's a light. And it flickers and it doesn't actually set anything on fire because it's magic.
Sure, it is.
Listen,
And-
okay, you think it's not you think it's actual fire? Notice how everything is decidedly not on fire and burning us all to death right now.
Yoina is not amused. And meanwhile, Lily pulls out and says, Protodor's light. And then
It's
you
great
sort
because
of-
I can bump up the range from 15 feet to a total of 30.
yeah, you concentrate and you get a big, brilliant light that is bright light out to 30 and dim light out to another 30.
My sweet ass glow stick.
You turn it off and on again and just go. You can throw some great parties.
No, because this be saying Protodor's light over and over again, and nobody needs that.
Integrate that into the dubstep.
Yes.
God,
Protodor.
the worst mix.
Protodor's light. Ho! But now, actually seeing that, Yoina turns back to Lake and says, see, your companion there understands. You need to keep your flames in a container.
I'm not.
Lily is trying her best to stifle her laughter.
I'm not. It's not.
She just looks at Lake with just this smug fucking grin.
Lake casts light on their fucking mace. Because I have that as a cantrip, as an Asmir. I've just literally never had a need to use it.
That's about the spike game.
Yes, now it's about the spike game.
She nods. Now you are understanding.
Yeah, dude. Here's the thing, though. Do you see any windows on this mace that I use as a weapon and not as an instrument of light? Why do you think that all this light is coming through it now?
Oh my god, stop arguing. It doesn't matter.
Once again, just Lily standing there with a shit-eating grin.
Look, later I can turn her into a frog or something if we really need to prove it. Until then, like, just let's just focus on doing the job.
No. I need this.
Just the toothiest fucking grin as you dig this hole.
Okay, so sorry. What's the last we saw of the thing? Where did it go? Further into the...
This way, into the hopper.
It ducked, into the hopper, possibly out the other side, and it has gone back into hiding. It is, Grenache can tell you, it is clearly not within 120 feet of you. Or if it is, then it's
Okay.
hiding behind something.
Should I just cast fly on one of the people who has a light, good source of light, and let them figure it out?
Yeah, sure.
Would that be helpful?
Okay.
I choose Lily.
Okay. I was gonna say it should be up to Lily because Lily has a better source of light.
Yeah, Lily does have the better source of light. Also, I don't think Lily gets to fly very often,
No.
unlike us.
I have my
so-
boots levitation, so I can kinda not really fly.
Okay, is Lily okay with having fly cast on her?
Yeah,
Just go
sure.
around? Okay, so really we'll cast fly on Lily.
Suck
good for
shit,
10
ground bound
minutes, so-
plebes.
At the end of 10 minutes, okay, before you start insulting me, remember that I can't just dismiss the spell at any time.
At which point you will always start floating slowly to the ground.
Oh, goddamn, is that how that works? Okay.
Yeah. For specifically this sort of deal.
All right, well, yeah, just go look around. Lasts for 10 minutes.
It is I, the floating lantern.
Actually, that's kind of powerful now that I think about it, because you could just use it to get up high and then cancel it for another concentration spell and still
Actually,
get some of the advantage.
If you cast it as a 4th level spell, both me and Lily can start flying around.
I don't think I can vary the level that I cast it at, because it's not one of my normals when I get
Oh,
to my loot.
okay.
Well, anyway. So yeah, Lily gets airborne, and you have a bright light, so roll perception without any extra dice.
It's me. I am the sun fuckers.
The sun fucker.
The sun fucker. It's like a star fucker, really.
That's my favorite Trent Reznor song.
Just for one, just for the most the closest star. Maybe I should have done it with someone with better perception. Now that I think.
Oh, then you definitely wouldn't have wanted me.
Yeah.
Should have just asked Lily to give me the light.
Well, there's the modifier, and then there's the lack of disadvantage.
Right, but if I had a light, I mean, I have a +6 or whatever to that, so. Or so what I get?
And 16 is decent.
16
It's a +5.
Like, there's only 4 better numbers than 16 on the dice.
Well, okay, on the
So
dice.
are
yeah,
you
but-
floating around 30 feet off the ground?
Yeah, let's go with that.
All right, that'll give your light plenty of good coverage of the ground, and also put you in range as another pile of coal floats out of a hopper and flies straight at you.
How much coal we talking?
About 150 pounds worth.
Oh Jesus! I should probably avoid that, shouldn't I?
Probably.
Let's see here. I'm reading the rules, and there it is. Yeah, it's an attack roll +4 to hit.
Okay.
That's not doing it.
I don't think that
Yep.
does it, Tim.
Yep. Thanks to your light, you saw that dark pile of coal come streaming at you immediately, and so you duck underneath it, and you're able to point out where it came from, which was in fact within 30 feet of you.
Oh wow, isn't that convenient?
So, assuming the rest of you are trailing along on the ground, everybody can roll initiative, and we can see if it'll get away again.
Okay. Initiative.
Ouch.
11.
Wow.
Whoa! I'm actually going before the rogue. What the fuck?
The road's going
Let me
last. What
just
the fuck?
get everybody's things up.
She's not used to flying.
That's how we're going to excuse it, yeah.
It's true. She mostly just levitates at best.
Alright, since I'm not going first, I'm gonna use this opportunity to go to the bathroom.
Grenache gets 19. Aurelia gets 19.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 9. Mike gets an 11. And Harvey gets +1. Another 9. And the monster of the day. What the hell? Dang it. All right, monster of the day has a +2. Okay, that's kind of freaky.
3 9s.
Not see the problem here.
All right, Grenache, you've got the best odds of hitting, so I'll say you go first.
Okay, so how far away is it from me at this point?
All told, it appears to have been hiding inside of a hopper. I should just mark another X here. It's basically just behind the lip of the hopper, so you don't have direct line of sight to it from where you're standing on the ground.
Okay. Let me see what my options are a minute. In regards to Step of the Wind, when it mentions jumping distance, does that mean in terms of height as well, or?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. So if I use Step of the Wind and used all of my movement to get basically on top of the hopper, would I have enough movement for that? That'd be 90 feet.
All right. I would request a athletics check to represent the climbing needed.
Might I use acrobatics?
Acrobatics would take even more time as you found things to jump off of and jump across to get up there.
Would I still be able to do it, or?
Let's see.
What did I miss? Have we lost track of it again?
It is hiding inside of a hopper, and Grenache is trying to figure out, I'm trying to figure out if Grenache can step of the wind and get up enough speed and momentum to get up and over the lip.
Okay.
And still have an action.
Yeah, because I figured it'd be running across here and then jumping up.
Yeah, a straight jump would be athletics, but if you're trying to parkour off of everything next to it, that would be acrobatics, but take more time. And
Like I say, I've got 90 feet movement, so.
all right, well, let's just roll acrobatics and see what happens.
Okay.
All right, sure. You find enough surfaces, jump up onto the rails, onto rooftops, onto girders, until finally your head pokes up just over the side of the hopper. You can see this thing. It used to be humanoid. It looks like it used to be a human, or at least some sort of humanoid. But now it's just the anger of death over those who still live, given form. It is rage streaming from its glowing skull, where its head used to be, and a humanoid form that just sort of vaguely fades away as it reaches the extremities. And where those extremities reach, you can see the coal vibrating as it seems to prepare another shot.
Sounds like a real hit at parties.
So, am I in melee range of this at this point, or?
No.
Okay. Well, if I'm not in melee range, then that's going to be a guiding bolt.
All right, well, you could also fire, fist blasts.
True, but I think this would do more damage overall.
All right, then.
Oh yeah,
Guiding.
radiant.
Well, they're both radiant. There's just
okay.
one is 1d6 plus 4 twice over 46.
Oh, okay.
We'll make that attack roll, either way.
Okay.
That'll do.
I would hope it does. Okay, so that's 46 radiant, and next attack against it has advantage. It's been that long, I've forgotten how to roll again.
Sure, I'm glad I rolled dog shit.
Oops. It screams, and all of you can hear this now. It is a
Oh man, I hope
scream
two of us don't die from this.
Yeah.
It is a scream of utter rage and hatred, and fear as well. It is an inhuman screech, one that you can imagine coming out of an ancient crypt at night.
Hmm. Spooky.
Aurelia, you're still on the ground. You still don't have line of sight to this thing.
Okay.
But
How far
you,
away is it approximately right now?
But you definitely saw Grunash leap up to the top of this hopper and fire something at a specific point inside of it.
All
You
right. So
are within around 30 to 40 feet of it.
okay, and how far is it to the edge of the hopper or whatever?
Based on where the impact and where the light flared, it is close to the front end where it meets the conveyor.
No, sorry. I mean, like, how far am I? Like, how far up is it? Like, if Aurelia were, say, Misty stepping up there, is that within 30 feet? Like, she could.
Well, of the 30 to 40 feet away, it is 30 of those feet are vertical.
Okay.
So
she got right under it. She could.
yeah, you could potentially move directly underneath the conveyor, Misty step to the top, onto the conveyor, pop like that, and then have an angle to possibly see the flickering flames that are still just sort of covering its form.
All right. Well, I think I'll just do that then. Am I in fact able to see it?
Yeah, you
Okay.
may
And how
still,
far away is it now?
about 20 feet.
Okay.
And you will still have disadvantage on an attack roll if you made one.
Probably not going to do an attack.
Or actually, no.
It'd be normal.
The one that counters the other, yeah, normal.
Yeah, it'd be normal roll.
You know about where it is,
I see.
but it's not exactly fairy fire. It's sort of a salient point.
Right. Okay. Quick question. Where is Lily right now?
Still chilling up in the air.
Yeah, but like, is Lily in a position where it'll fuck her over if I cancel the spell and start concentrating on something else, or is she like above it, a place where she can see it if she starts falling?
She is 30 feet above the ground, a good 10 feet above you, and to one side of the conveyor. So there would be a straight 30-foot drop beneath her if you canceled the spell.
Okay, but she floats down slowly, so she'd be fine.
Actually, I just double-checked.
Doesn't.
And apparently that is a way to murder people.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it is. It super duper is. I didn't want to say anything.
It's levitate that slowly brings you down.
Oh, when the spell ends, the target falls but still off. Okay, well, there we go. So I will not cancel it then. I will have to do something else.
Yeah, it's levitate that does that, not. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what I was thinking of.
All right. Huh, okay, this does make things slightly more complicated. What spell do I have? I mean, there's Fireball. That's probably a good idea, right?
No comment.
Just trying to think. Okay, well, I mean, I have some non-concentration spells. I just need to think of which one is...
I mean, I do have a high dex, but I don't get immunity from dex saving throws.
Yeah, I don't really... That would
For
be the
another
least
level.
of our concerns. It's less the fireball and more the fact that this thing is full of... Is this thing not full of coal? Or is there not coal in it?
That as well, yeah, I suppose.
It is full of coal. That would be the problem for...
Yeah. That'd be the bigger problem, I suppose. I don't think I could dex save all of that.
Okay, but you know what doesn't ignite coal is psychic damage. So, question is, do I want to pull out the big guns immediately? And yeah, I mean, sure, whatever. We're probably not going to get in that many fights today, so I'll use the synaptic static. So that is an int saving throw.
I'm not gonna get a turn to go, am I?
It's a 20-foot radius. I assume I can easily position it in a way that the creature is caught in it, and Grenache is not.
Yeah. Just aim a bit to the right and up. It'll be fine.
So
I rolled a 6 on the die, and this thing has no save proficiencies, so...
cool. So let's see. So it's 28 psychic damage, and for the next minute, it has to roll a d6 and subtract that number from all attack rolls and ability checks.
Nice.
Well, I'm afraid it's not going to do that.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's going to suck and die.
oh. Okay. I guess this thing is not as
Oh,
not
no.
really a boss fight.
I
Then.
didn't want to.
Okay.
I didn't want to say anything, but a poltergeist is like a challenge rating 1.
Yeah, so I still could have destroyed it with Turn Undead.
Yeah, you could have.
I couldn't have.
Whoops.
Oh, you
Well,
couldn't have,
okay.
okay.
That's a 5th level spell wasted, but
Yeah, so you
I'll be fine.
cast your spell, a bit of light streaks out, the darkness becomes just a little bit darker in a sphere, and the screaming abruptly cuts off.
I look over at our guest and I say, "Sounds like we solved your ghost problem."
That was just one, though. And the label thing
Yeah.
was
Do you
just
think there are a
one, yeah.
lot of these?
I should probably descend at some point before I die.
I mean, you've got a few more minutes. But yeah, I mean, be careful.
Yeah. Taking a quick look around to
I
see if I
assume Aurelia has some like innate sense of when the spell is going to end. Like she doesn't have to literally count out the minutes.
No. You would have that whole I can't hold this much longer sensation.
Right.
And that's why we activate the boots.
All right. Well, everybody, aside along with Grenache here, make one more perception check.
Ugh.
Yeah. I'm taking the opportunity now to got a bit of a vantage point to look around to see if there's any other signs of anything else.
Luck. A little better.
I say, would I?
Would you what?
No, I was gonna say, would I gain any benefit from my height? But never mind.
Well, you're not rolling with disadvantage.
True, you're right.
Oh, sorry. Rolling perception.
It's my sweet, not light, my legally distinct lightsaber. It's fine. It makes
What do my elf
non-copyrighted
eyes
noises.
Such as wham.
All right.
Wham.
You thoroughly inspect the rest of the coal depot, with Grenache making a point to take advantage of his mobility to hop around the hoppers,
Heh.
and Lily just straight up flying across the landscape, looking down, using a very bright sword. And Blake and Aurelio and Harvey, for what he can do, are double checking the ground level, poking your head in offices and enclosed rooms on the premises. And by the time the 10 minutes of true sight are up, you are fairly confident that this spirit is acting on its own.
Looks like we solved your ghost problem. I say again, more confidently.
Yeah, that was actually very easy.
Well, well, I must admit now that your foreign magic can make a very good light show, but I will not.
I definitely already admitted that.
But I will not be confident that this place is spirit-free until I have conducted at least 5 rituals of abjuration to cleanse this place for good.
Okay. Yeah,
Look,
sure.
in my experience, the secret to an exorcism is stabbing the fucking ghost.
I mean, you have a weapon that can do that, so that makes sense for you.
Yeah, you just cleave it in 2. It's very convenient.
You've got hands that can do that.
Exactly. You can punch a ghost to death.
While that is true...
All right. Well,
Things to think on.
But I imagine that you are not qualified to provide these rituals, so we should move on to the next location of interest.
sure.
Okay.
And we will be doing that next session.
Cool.
Alrighty.
Do we get a short rest in the meantime?
You can.
Okay. Well, I figure we're gonna have some travel time anyway. You know.
Mhm.
Look,
I don't know,
I'm
I
saying
just want to know whether I get my Misty Step back. It's not really a big deal.
Yeah, and
Hit points, I guess, too.
I believe the key points come back under a short rest too.
I forget
Yeah.
how many hit points
The
you're supposed
one
to
key
get back
point
during your
is
short
spent.
rest, but
You
Oh,
roll
no.
hit dice. You roll hit die. So
Yeah, you
Spending-
spend one of your hit dice, as in like roll that specific sided die, add your Constitution bonus, and that's how many hit points you get back.
yeah, I always forget that hit dice are a thing.
you don't
I
use
haven't
them too many times.
I haven't given you many occasions to use short rests.
That's true.
But
I also
if-
give bonus healing on short rests, and that's like never come up.
yeah, that's a druid thing or bard thing.
Bard.
thing.
But, yes.
But yes, Harvey will just say does the same thing. And between
He does the
that,
undead Cthulhu version of whatever it is we do.
spend hit dice. Yes.
Hmm.
But yeah, just bring yourself up
Spends
to 4.
Eldritch Hilt dice.
I think between all of the bonuses, you're definitely going to get at least 4.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like a bit of a stretch to me.
All right. And one last thing for tonight is that after you finish exploring the coal depot, you notice that the fog, which had covered this whole area last night and vanished with the dawn, it's back now since the sun
Crap.
is set. And you find yourself wandering through a particularly thick bank of fog on your way out. And it's at this point that you hear a familiar voice saying,
Mhm.
I found that poltergeist in an ancient crypt in the Giftlands.
Okay.
I'm gonna pretend I
Of-
can't hear him.
In the Giftlands of South Kalagia. It was quite a pain to pull it out, but I think the effort was worth it. Didn't expect the ghosts, but it was quite the happy accident.
Okay.
And Grunash,
Mm-hmm.
at about the time he finishes speaking, Temper says, "There, he is there." And Temper lifts your hand so that it points your spear in a particular direction.
Fuck it, guiding bolt.
All right, roll with disadvantage.
That's good.
Dude, how weird does that feel?
Uh, okay. The brilliant light of your spell fires off into the fog, flashes through past the point where you know he would be. And so you hear, "Nice try. See you later."
Do you
Try not
realize
to
you're
be a
just like?
coward next time.
Do you realize you're kind of just like a speed bump to us, right?
No response.
I mean, let's taunt him after we beat him.
No, I mean, next time, okay, next time, just ignore him. Ignore him.
Eh.
Idiots like him thrive on fucking attention. Just, once again, look at every new villain in Okar every day.
Yeah, well, one day he'll get hit.
And that's fine, but also, don't eat up his bullshit.
I don't intend to. I intended to hit him.
Anyway,
Well, you
Give him
fucking
worse of a warning shot. I've done it in the past. I'll be more than happy doing it again.
I do want that hat, though.
no, you want the
Well-
hat. It's like you've not
I
shut up
will
about the hat
get
since
the
we
hat.
got on the train.
You know you want the hat, too!
I kinda don't
Look.
really.
Look, once we take his goddamn head, you can have the hat.
I'll at least make sure to have it thoroughly cleaned, because
It's probably
Yeah.
got
vampires
like
are disgusting.
yeah, it's probably got vampire gunk all over it. You
All
know,
right,
the
now-
famous vampire gunk.
Ugh.
Last thing here is I want one of you to roll a d6.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Huh, okay. Interesting.
Don't say that!
Well, it's just that I have several encounters planned for the city, and you just decided which one goes first.
Hell yeah!
Oh yeah.
Cool.
All right, but that's it for this.
Alright, you're not gonna Columbo one more thing us again, are you?
No.
Alright.